What's up, everybody? It's Needing Art, and today I'm going to show you how to make a UFC poster. RDA versus Islam Makhachev was supposed to happen this weekend, but Islam Makhachev pulled out due to staph infection, I believe, and the one and only Paul Felder is replacing him, so we're going to be making a Felder versus RDA poster. And we're not going to rip the official poster off, but we are going to take inspiration from it and maybe come up with something semi-similar to it. I don't know. We'll see what we come up with. When I'm making UFC posters that I'm just going to post online and I don't plan on using them for print, I like to make them at 1000 by 1444 pixels. And to do that, you can go to File, New, type in 1000 for the width, and then the height, 1444. I like to make things at 300 DPI, or the resolution 300. And to open our images, File, Open. Just like that. Now, there's short keys, there's easier ways to open stuff up, but I'm showing you how to do it if you're brand new to Photoshop. Obviously, you're not gonna know all the keys right off the top, so you can just go, to File, New, or File, Open, and do it like that. Okay, so this is what's gonna be our background image. And to rotate stuff, you can go to Image Rotation, or you can also hit Control T and do a free transform, but if you're brand new, it's probably easier if you do it that way. I don't know, you tell me. Now we got that in our canvas. First things first, you're gonna want to remove the background on the images, otherwise you're gonna have a white background, it's gonna look ridiculous. So we got Felder out of the way, let's drag him over to our poster or our canvas. Let's do the same for RDA. And I'm using the latest version of Photoshop, by the way, or at least I think it is the latest version. And I believe Felder is ranked number 7 at lightweight, so he'll be on the left side. RDA will be on the right side. I want to convert these images to a smart object. Because, we can erase or go back without the image being flat. So right click, convert to smart object. Right click, convert to smart object. And now so to transform an image, you can hit Control T. And I'm gonna do that right here and make Felder way bigger. Or you can go to Edit, Free Transform. It's the same as hitting Control T. However you like, it's up to you. This is gonna be an awesome fight, I think. I mean, I'm much more excited for this fight than I was for RDA versus Islam. I feel like RDA's fought nothing but wrestlers his whole time at welterweight, and it was kind of getting boring, to be honest with you. I'm a fan of grappling, but they just kept feeding RDA to the best grapplers in the division, and that's good enough for me. So let's see what we have here. I'm not sure where I want to go with this. Let's hide RDA for now. So to hide an image, click this little eye right here and he'll disappear. I'm gonna create a layer mask and start painting over Felder and see what it does. Well, I know what it's gonna do. A layer mask, you can erase stuff, but it's not erased for good. You can bring it back. So click this little button here. It's gonna give you a layer mask, and you see the background right here is white. If I paint black in there, it's gonna take stuff away. If I paint white, it'll bring it back. So I'm gonna change the color to black down here. I'm gonna select the brush tool. I'm gonna make the size way bigger. I'm gonna change my flow to like 100%. I don't know why it was at 50. And I'm just gonna start painting. I'm gonna add a solid color of black. So click this right here, solid color, move it all the way down to black. Then I'm gonna lower the opacity on the background image. %. That's cool with me. All right, now let's continue painting. Let's bring RDA back. Let's hide Felder. Let's add that layer mask to RDA. So far, so good. Now, let's start adding some effects. Actually, I'm gonna add a new layer. You can go to layer, new layer, or you can hit Shift Control N. Either way works. And I'm gonna paint black. Now this isn't a layer mask, this is just a new layer. I'm gonna do a sort of border, see what it does. I'm gonna change my flow to 50%. And bear with me if this is awkward, guys. This is my first tutorial. I'm not used to talking while I'm working, so sorry. And if you hear snoring or the sounds of a pig, I do have a pug and he's sitting right next to me, so that's what the noise will be if you hear something like that. Or maybe it's me, I'm not sure. Nah, it's definitely my pug. Oops. I'm gonna hide that. I don't know if I like that. So, okay, now let's start adding effects. So, I'm gonna go to filter, camera raw filter, and I think I'm gonna bump the clarity up to 75. I'm gonna change the vibrance to -30. I'm gonna change the highlights to +15, the contrast to +15, and sharpening to +5. Okay, now I'm gonna go do the same thing to RDA. So, +75, vibrance -30. I think I'm gonna give him more highlights. +25 for highlights for RDA. There we go. Sharpening +5. I think he might need some more desaturation, but Paul Felder is so pale. I don't know if it's just me, but I think he's pretty pale. So there we go. And I did that by going to image adjustments, use saturation, which you can press Control U to do. But like I said, I'm just showing you guys, if you're brand new to Photoshop, how to do it. Now I want to enhance their eyes. So I'm gonna do that like this. I'm gonna create an adjustment layer. I'm gonna go down here. I'm gonna select curves. And I'm gonna bring this up here. And right here in the middle, I'm just gonna bring this up like really, like to right here. Now it looks ridiculous, right? But it has a layer mask on it, and we can turn that to black and erase everything by hitting Control I. See how it turned that to black? Now, like I said, if you use white and paint, it will bring what you just did back into the picture wherever you're painting. So I'm gonna change that to white. I'm gonna select my brush. I'm gonna change the size of the brush to, 7. And I'm gonna zoom in with the zoom tool. and I'm just gonna start painting. And you see, these are where the light hits the eye. So like, this is where I like to paint. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, this obviously isn't an official poster. We're just having fun with it. So, and we're just enhancing the eyes a little bit. We don't have to go too crazy. It doesn't have to be anything special. I think RDA has like brown eyes, but I'm really not sure. I know Paul Felder has blue, or at least it looked like he did. Okay. We're still not done with the eyes, but see how it enhanced it a little bit? All right, now I'm gonna create a group, okay? And to do that, I'm gonna click on this. I'm gonna hit Control G, and now I'm gonna go back down into this group. Let's name this group Eyes, okay? Now I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna select solid color. And I'm gonna select like an orangish color, like an orange brown. Sure. I'm gonna change the layer mode to overlay, and I'm gonna get rid of everything. Control I, and I'm gonna start painting again. It's gonna add a little bit. Change our brush to 3. You just paint a little bit. It doesn't have to be crazy. It's just to enhance the eyes a little bit. You'll see what I'm saying. Zoom out. See how that's looking. Do another solid color. This time I'm gonna go blue. Let's get like a bright tealish blue. Control I. Oh, and let's change the blending mode on this one to soft light. RDA is gonna get solid, let's get like a yellowish orange, but a bright one. Soft light. Now see their eyes? Let's see what they looked like before this. They look way better, right? I think RDAs need some touching up, so. Just paint there like that. Like I said, it doesn't have to be too crazy. Oh, we don't want blue in his eyes. I guess we could have kept it. It didn't look too bad. I'm gonna add a Gaussian blur on this, by the way, of 1.0. Let's do the same for this, and the same for this. That makes it look more realistic. If you want to enhance the whites of the eyes, you can go here, you can click levels, and change the blend mode to screen, and now it looks ridiculous, right? Control I on that layer mask gets rid of it all. Then zoom in and start painting over the whites of the eyes with white. Sometimes this looks good, sometimes it looks absolutely ridiculous. We'll just see what it looks like for the sake of this tutorial. We don't have to keep it. Go. Perfect. Sorry if I'm not talking a whole lot. This is my first tutorial, like I said. Let's see how the whites are looking. Okay, we definitely missed some on RDA. So let's go in there and fix that. Oops. And like I said, I'm trying to make this for people that are brand new to Photoshop. I'm not trying to throw out like every hotkey and make it super complex. I want beginners to be able to follow along. If you have any questions, just let me know in the comments. And if you guys want to see anything else or you want to know how to do something, just let me know and I'll try to make a video on it. And if you enjoy this video, make sure you like and subscribe, because like if you're not watching, nobody's watching, there's no point in doing these. And I just want to show people, you know, cool stuff. So let's see if we like the whites. I think I'm gonna turn that down, the opacity on that, to 50%, because that's a bit much. I still don't like it. I'm gonna change it to 20%. Okay, that's fine with me. Now, back to the poster. An easy way to create this UFC fight night and like November 14th, Saturday, is like, honestly, if you want to just be cheap, we could just cut this out like this, go over here and cut it out and then get rid of this. But, you know, another way to do it is to create, go here, the shape tool, and create a rectangle and go all the way down the image and then cut it out, use the UFC logo and just start typing it yourself. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna probably copy and paste that and then show you what you could do. So where can we go with this? Well, RDA's hair is white at the top, so we're gonna go use our layer mask, paint black over it so it's not so white, obviously, because the background of his image was originally white. So we can just go paint over the whites of his hair and hopefully make that look a little bit better. It's not terrible or anything. Are you guys excited for this fight? I honestly was not excited for the Islam fight at all. Like, I don't know, he just doesn't excite me as a fighter. I'm not a hater or anything. But last week's main event, man, that was insane. Glover is a legend. Like, I feel like people were sleeping on that fight, like how good it was. Nobody expected him to win. I mean, definitely didn't expect him to have like a Rocky story and just absolutely manhandle Thiago Santos on the ground. Alrighty. Those eyes look a lot better. I really like that. Okay. Let's add a gradient map, okay? So let's go down here. Let's change the color to red. Gradient map. It's gonna pull that up. I'm gonna hit reverse. And I'm gonna hide that. And I'm gonna add another gradient map. Make this one blue and black. So gradient map. Oh, I didn't want that to happen. Go back to To go back, you can hit Control Z, or you can go to Edit and Undo. So, gradient map, reverse. And you don't have to reverse that. If you would have had black as your foreground and blue as your background, you wouldn't have to do this, but I'm an idiot, so, all right. So let's go to our layer mask right here, and let's select the gradient tool, and let's go straight down like this. I don't know if I like that. Let's go up with it. And you can just play with it inside the layer mask and come up with something that you like. It's adding a gradient to the layer mask instead of you painting over it, and it's kind of giving you a cool little effect. Just gotta play with it till you have something you like. I want Felder to get a title shot. He's one of my favorite fighters. I've been a fan of Felder since like he had the spinning back fist knockout. That's my favorite kind of knockout. They don't happen that often. So, and when they do, they're insane. They're absolutely nuts. Sorry, I'm still playing around with this gradient. I just don't know what I'm hoping for here, I guess. Okay, I think I like that. Let's change the blend modes though. So let's go to color. That can stay at normal, but I'm gonna add a black and white gradient map. Then I'm gonna lower the opacity to 30%. I'm going to lower the opacity to the red to 75%. This is probably taking way too long. I'm just trying to show you guys how we can make this look sick. I'm brightening up the blue. I think I'm gonna get rid of some of this red down here. Felder, man. Paul Felder's fight with Dan Hooker is so underrated. That was an insane fight, man. Paul Felder is a G. The dude always puts on insane fights. I'm gonna add all these gradients to a group. So I'm gonna click one, go down here and click Shift, Control G, and I'm gonna add a layer mask to this group, and I'm gonna paint over the eyes and see what it looks like. So it might look absolutely ridiculous. It might look badass, who knows? Well, I was painting with white, and as you can see, that did nothing. I saw that Megan Anderson and Amanda Nunes is off for that December pay-per-view, so that sucks. I was really looking forward to that fight. Amanda Nunes is the GOAT. All right, let's zoom out, see what that looks like. I think it looks cool. We need to fix RDA's eyes up a little bit so we can zoom back in and lower this. And this doesn't have to be perfect, guys. Like, we're just having fun. If you're making it for a client, then make sure it's perfect. But if you're just making it to have fun, then no need to make everything perfect. No need to stress out about every single detail. This is probably taking me way longer than normal because I'm talking. Or I'm trying to talk. I'm probably sounding pretty ridiculous most of the time. Now, see, that didn't take us long at all, and we're basically finished with the whole thing. Like, we just need to add text, and I'm gonna basically copy this format of this text, and to do that, I'm gonna click a new layer. I didn't need to do that, but I'm gonna do that anyways. So I'm gonna go down to the shape tool. I'm gonna change my color to white, and I'm gonna do a little rectangle down the middle. And if you want everything to be like on point, you can click new guide and you can position it. I'll show you how to do that in a later video, but we're just gonna spitball it or eyeball it or whatever you wanna call it. Wasn't even trying to rhyme there, but here we are. Okay. Now, that's basically the same size that they have. And I'm gonna rasterize this layer. I don't care if it's a shape or not anymore. And I'm gonna start cutting pieces of it out because I think it's a bit too long, so. Cut the middle out. Actually, I'll cut the middle out after we add the names. So let's go ahead and add the names. Select the T tool to type. We're gonna change the color to white. And let's get our font. Let's change the kerning to 0. Type in Felder and Control T. Let's make this font bigger. Rotate it 90 degrees. still a bit too thick. Let's adjust our kerning to like 50%. They don't. It looks like they don't have any kerning added to theirs. So I guess we don't need any of that. And I'm gonna actually pull this whole thing down. I'm not gonna bite theirs completely, like I said. So I'll pull Felder up here, and I'm gonna duplicate this layer. To do that, you can go to layer and duplicate, and I'm gonna drag it over here, and you see the guide tools is telling you where to put it. That's not always accurate, by the way. That actually is helpful, but it's definitely not always accurate. So just the kerning. I can hear my dog snoring. Shout out to him. He's a G. So RDA is basically all the way up at this rectangle, but Felder, just because of the characters in his name, he is not. So that looks ridiculous. It didn't look that bad, actually. I think I'm gonna roll with it. So I'm gonna mess with RDA's name a little bit by transforming it. So sorry guys if you hear my dog snoring, but that's the way he lives most of his life, and who am I to judge him? I'm just his father. That's pretty much lined up the way I want it, but I still think this rectangle is a bit too large. So there's easier ways to do this too, by the way. I'm just going along with it, having fun. Also, you should probably be naming all of your layers, and I definitely haven't been doing that for this video. That's a good way to keep a good workflow, but if you're not doing it, it's not that big of a deal, but I would recommend doing that. It's fine with me. Let's zoom back out. And this is a bit too long, so I'm just gonna go here. And sorry. Now let's put lightweight out, because Felder has been training for a triathlon and has been swimming and running and biking every day, so he's actually gonna be on weight. Not that he's ever missed weight before, but he does say that the weight cut is brutal, so alrighty. I'm gonna cut this rectangle out in the middle somewhere and put the verses like they have it there. Let's see. this would be around the A and the D. So let's zoom in a little bit so we can do that. Looks about right. And now let's zoom out, see how that looks. I don't like it. I think that the cut needs to be bigger. I should probably be using a layer mask, but you know, I don't always follow the rules. All right, that's cool. Now, let's go ahead and grab our T tool and type in versus. And it looks like the UFC, I'm actually pretty sure they have the kerning on that at about 25. And I think they have it capitalized. They honestly might have the kerning on that at 50. And the kerning is the space in between the letters. And they definitely have it slanted. So I'm gonna zoom in here. And I'm gonna click this T right here. That's gonna give like the fake italics. And they always have this little line. I think the line is slanted too, but I'm not gonna waste my time and do that. Do a little rectangular tool. And zoom out. It's looking decent, but I think I'm gonna reduce the size of it, transform it a little bit. Oops. Select the rectangle and the text. Cool. That should be good enough. Obviously these tutorials will get better and more in depth as they go on. I'm just trying to knock this one out of the way. So the fights this weekend, I wish I had, I think it's 100 subscribers, because then I can customize my YouTube URL and promote it a lot easier. But we'll work with what we got. All right. Now, if we want to add this right here, that's easy, no problem. I don't know Paul Felder's record off the top of my head, and I don't know RDA's record off the top of my head. But I do know Felder is ranked number 7 and RDA is ranked number 12 at welterweight. So let's go ahead and go here, type number 7. Let's go to the actual font that is, and let's rotate it 90%. And let's make it way bigger. That's what she said. Who am I kidding? Alright. They have it like down at the bottom, cut off. RDA's is definitely blurred a little bit in that. I don't know if Islam's, no, it doesn't look like Islam's is blurred. So it's cool when you cut stuff off, but like sometimes you can't read it at all, right? So I want you guys to at least be able to get a vague idea of what it is. I guess that looks like a number 7. Okay, and now let's do number 12. Let's expand that. I don't know exactly how big that is. It's obviously behind RDA's head. So, oh, well, I think it's too big. That's what she said. You guys like that joke, right? It's from one of the greatest television shows of all time. If you're unfamiliar, get familiar. It's called The Office. Obviously, everybody's seen that show. So I'm gonna create a layer mask on this because it's behind his hair. So start painting on his hair. You're not even gonna be able to see it for how high I have his head. So what can we do here? You know what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna delete this layer mask and I'm gonna just do what they have for Felder, or do what I have for Felder. They didn't do that. And I'm gonna rotate. No, I'm not gonna rotate it that way. We're gonna rotate it 90 degrees. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate this layer because I messed with the kerning and stuff on this, or I transformed it. So I'm just gonna copy that layer and I'm gonna change this to 12. Photoshop's yelling at me. And maybe we do want that rotated 180 degrees. Do we? Let's see what it looks like if we blur it. I think they either have a box blur or a motion blur. It's gonna want us to rasterize this image, so. Theirs isn't that blurred. I'm cool with it at a 5. If you're cool with it at a 5, I'm cool with it at a 5. I like how that looks. We could do something similar with this text here that says Felder versus Dos Santos if we wanted to. And I mean, let's try it. I like it. But maybe it would look sick if we added like an inner stroke and a stroke on the name text. So let's try that. Let's go here and add an inside stroke of like 2, an outside stroke of 1. Okay, that looks ridiculous. We shouldn't have done that after we added the blur. Okay, so I like how that looks, but I think it might be a bit too blurred on the names. So for Felder, I'm gonna do a box blur of, let's rasterize that. I'm gonna keep 3, and then I'm gonna do the same thing to Dos Anjos. Hopefully I'm saying his name right. I think that I am. And let's do that here. Okay. Let's see what it looks like if we do a color overlay. So Felder, we got like a color overlay of red, but like let's try Dos Anjos and do a color overlay of blue. Dude, this thing could have been done 5 minutes ago. We could be done right now if you guys want to be done, except you're not actually here and I'm talking to myself, so there is that. You heard that noise? That was me putting on chapstick. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I do like the red though. And to do that, you can right click on it, go to blending options, color overlay. What do we think? Do we like the red? or no? Do we like the red or do we like the white? I like the red, but I also like the white, and I'm torn. You guys cool with it like this, or you want, like, you saw how we did that, right? So in this little eye right here, will turn the effects on and off. I think I'm gonna keep Felder red and keep Dos Santos white. So, like I said, to get this the same size, because this is gonna be bigger, what do they have this at? 19,000 or 1944 by 2808. I'm gonna reduce this to 1000 by 1444 pixels, which is the size of the design that we're doing. And I'm gonna select the rectangular marquee tool, and I'm gonna cut this out. Now, I'll show you how you could do it if you're like just doing it yourself. You're not just ripping this out of here. So, Control C, Control V. Now, we want the center, but we also want to get rid of the ridiculous middle part. So, let's use the marquee tool again and click delete. See? There we go. There is a UFC poster in 5 minutes. No, it probably took us an hour. But I mean, you see how easy it is. If I was really spending my time, like if I wanted to spend 5-6 hours on a design, it would look way better. Like we could go in and we could fill in his beard, not fill in his, but sharpen his beard up, sharpen the mustache up. Actually, let me show you something. Like I said, I'll show you how to do this little, how I would do this thing, this little rectangle thing that they do for every event. I would go to the rectangular tool, we select white, we go straight down the middle. Then I would create a layer mask. Actually, what I always do, I always rasterize shapes if I'm not making a logo or something. And I would go down and just like gauge the size of how these, you know, the size of these things. That's what she said. And then grab the UFC's logo and just go in there and you type in, for example, like select black text. Let's go over here. And what the fight is November 14th. So we would type in Nov 14th. And then we would change the kerning to 0 because I don't think they have any kerning on this. 0. Then we're gonna transform this and make this big. You can, there's so many ways you can do this, but November 14th, and then duplicate layer, go down, Saturday, and now let's shrink that, free transform, how they have it lined up. I mean, mine's a little bit too big, that's what she said. And there you have it. I mean, that's basically it. You're gonna wanna adjust the size and make sure it's all centered, but for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just showing you how you could do it. And you can probably find a transparent version of the UFC's logo with a simple Google search, and then you would type, or you would just paste it right here. Then you type fight, and you would slant it with this right here, and then you do night, and you'd reduce the size, and you do a little rectangle underneath it. It's simple, it really is. I just don't feel like connecting to the Wi-Fi and downloading the UFC's logo right now, so. All right, so, like I was talking about sharpening things up, like his beard and RDA's sick mustache, we can stamp everything. We can merge everything that we have right now by hitting Shift, Control, Alt, E. If you have a PC, I don't know what it is on Mac. And what that does is that merges everything that we have and it puts it at the top. So I'm gonna add a layer mask to this, and then I'm gonna go back to the image and I'm gonna sharpen it up a bit, and I'll show you what this is gonna do. So let's go down here to filter, sharpen, smart sharpen. Let's go to the default setting. we don't need to mess with the shadows or anything. So let's see what his eyes are looking like. Felder's eyes. Okay. I don't want this at 200. I want this at like 125. And then I want the radius to be at like 12. And no, I don't want this. I don't know why it's on custom. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. It was on custom because I was creating my own. So change the blur to Gaussian blur. Do like 120 here. Radius 12. Reduce noise 0. And you see how that's like sharpening everything up? It's a lot more sharpened, but it's too sharpened everywhere. So I'm gonna do what I just did, the Shift Control Alt E, and I'm gonna do a camera raw filter for the whole image. And I'm gonna do 20. I'm gonna do 5 contrast, 5 highlights. I'm gonna do -10 on the blacks. Actually, let's do -20. And I'm gonna sharpen that by 5. And then I'm gonna lower the opacity on this to 30%. Okay? And now back to this one. This one is the super one, the super sharpened one. So I'm gonna go into this layer mask, Control I, right? Paints it all black, got rid of all of that. And now we can go in and we can sharpen up what we want to be more sharpened. We can paint in there. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna paint over the eyes. So let's get our white brush. And let's just paint over the eyes. And I'm gonna paint over the mustache too, a little bit. The beard, it's not a mustache. I do believe Felder has a sick mustache like RDA's right now, by the way, though. So far I've painted over the beard, the eyes, and now I'm gonna go for the eyebrows a little bit. Now off to RDA. Let's get you, change this to 50. RDA's got such a sick mustache. RDA's a legend too, man. Nobody expected him to beat Anthony Pettis when Anthony Pettis was the champion, and he just demolished Anthony Pettis for like 5 rounds. It was an absolute mauling, man. It was insane. All right, let's zoom out and see how that looks. I think it looks sick. Yeah, I think that looks incredible. All right, we can reduce the opacity to that too, which I probably will. I'll probably take that down to like 70%. And it's finished. There you have it. That's how you make a UFC poster. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe, share the video, comment anything you want to learn or a style you want to know, and I'll do my best to show you how to do it. And just thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for all the support on Twitter and Instagram. I've only been doing these MMA and UFC designs for like a year, and you guys have shown me a lot of support. Needing Art out. Peace.